Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk about Marpol 73 and 78 and its annexes. Marpol Convention is the main international convention covering prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ships from operational and accidental causes. It is a combination of two treaties adopted in 1973 and 1978, respectively, and updated by amendments through the years. So the aim of Marpol 73 and 78 is to completely eliminate the intentional pollution of the marine environment by oil and other harmful substances, to minimize the accidental discharge of such substances. First is Annex 1, which is Regulation for the Prevention of Pollution by Oil. Entered into force on October 2, 1983. Revised Annex entered into force January 1, 2007, covers prevention of pollution by oil from operational measures as well accidental discharges. Annex 2, Regulation for the Control of Pollution by Noxious Liquid Substance in Bulk, entered into force October 2, 1983. Revised Annex entered into force on January 1, 2007. Details the discharge criteria and measure from the control of pollution by noxious liquid substance carried in bulk. The discharge of the residue is allowed only to reception facilities until certain concentrations and conditions are complied with. In any case, no discharge of residue containing noxious liquid substance is permitted within 12 nautical miles from the nearest land. Annex 3 of Marpol 73 and 78, Prevention of Pollution by Harmful Substance Carried by Sea in Package Form, entered into force July 1, 1992. Contain general requirements for issuing of detailed standards on packing, marking, labeling, documentation, stowage, and quantity limitations, and lastly, exceptions of notifications. For the purpose of this annex is to harmful substances are those substances which are identified as marine pollutants in the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, or which meet the criteria in the appendix of the Annex 3. Annex 4, Prevention of Pollution by Sewage from Ship, entered into force September 27, 2003. Revised Annex 4 entered into force on January 1, 2013. Contains requirements to control pollution of the sewage by the sea. The discharge of sewage into the sea is prohibited except when the ship has in operation an approval sewage treatment plant or when the ship is discharging comminuted and disinfected sewage using an approved system at a distance of more than 3 nautical miles from the nearest land. Annex 5, Prevention of Pollution by Garbage from Ship, entered into force December 31, 1988. Details with different types of garbage and specific and distances from the land and manner in which they may be disposed of. The most important features of Annex is to complete ban imposed on disposal into the sea of all forms of plastics. In July 2011, IMO adopted intensive amendments to Annex 5 which entered into force on July 1, 2013. The revised Annex 5 prohibits the discharge of all garbage into the sea except provided otherwise under specific circumstances. Annex 6, Prevention of Oil Pollution from Ships, entered into force May 19, 2005. Set limits on sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emission from ship exhausted and prohibits deliberate emission of ozone-depleting substance. Designated emission control areas set more standards for SOx and NOx and particulate matter. In 2011, after extensive work and debate, IMO adopted groundbreaking mandatory, technically and operationally energy efficiently measure which will significantly reduce the amount of greenhouse gas emissions from ships. These measures were included in Annex 6 and entered into force January 1, 2013.